normal. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead. What's the problem?
Okay. No, I'm working full time, Dalton, from morning 7 to evening 5. So I don't know, like, my problem is that entries are not correct.
You tell me what you're doing to set up your trades.
Okay.
Let me think. When you sit down to trade, do you want to, do you mind like paying attention? Like, can you sit there and look at the charts for 3 hours, or do you just look for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes? What do you want to do?
No, I will look for like 2-3 hours. Yes.
Okay, look. So let's do this. Let's focus on, so I'm going to let you share your screen, okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
And let's just take a peek at your trading setup real quick and see what you're doing, what you're working with, and then we will move forward from there, okay?
Yeah, you see from afternoon 4:15, like the 2:15. So I will come here from my work, like here 5 o'clock. 15, yeah, 17. So this one, all in the consolidations. So
This is good trading here. Go. So how far are these drops? How far are these drops you're looking at? And I want you to go back to your indicators and turn on, type in directional movement index. Oh, you've got it right there by console. You got it. Yeah, there you go. You like this one, right?
Because spread is very less.
That's good. It's fine with me, man. Matter to me. Whatever floats your boat. It's good. So what we want to do is just turn everything off. Okay, so let's turn the matrix off. Let's turn the Deloreans off. There we go. And let's just look at what we've got going on here. Okay. So if you're going to scalp on the 5 minute, we're going to hop up to the 15. Okay.
Okay.
Rid of this. There we go. So what we want to do, actually, let's hop up to the hour. Let's get a big overview of what's going on here. So would you say this is the highest point on the chart? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to draw a line here. Highest point on the chart. Most recent low, not really where we're at, but the most recent low is going to be right in here. That's our most recent low. I really like this one though, honestly, to be honest. But that's our most recent low. Let's go back just a smidge more and see what is going on here. Oops. Okay, so what we're doing is we've made a big arch, and now we've come through, we've gone up, and we've made another big arch. So what we're doing is we're sitting right here, kind of at a turnaround, honestly. We could continue down, back down into this level here. But we're kind of at a key pivot point here. Let's look and see. This is a kind of a key point right here. You see that? You agree with that?
Yeah.
So we're kind of between these 2 points here. Let's hop back into the 1 hour. Okay, so we're gonna we could continue back down here before we hit another low. But we are on a downtrend. Even on the daily, we're back here on the daily. We're on a downtrend. Even from back here, we're on a downtrend. So we'll hop to the 1 hour, and we see our downtrend here, right? We'll hop to the 15 minute, and we're still on a downtrend. We're still in agreement. Okay. Our most recent downtrend is this one right here. This is our most recent downtrend right here, and it's getting steeper. So we got a high low, or it would be low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're still on a downtrend. So we're going to be looking for sells here because we're still on a downtrend, and this should be turning for us. This should be headed back down now. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes.
High, lower low, lower or lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're going to look for lower high right in here and then a lower low. Okay. So from here, I'm going to turn on my DeLorean. Okay. Do you know how to use the DeLorean indicator?
No, no, Dalton, I don't
Okay.
know.
So here's, I'm going to give you like the skim pass overview here, and then I'll put the video on YouTube and you can watch it. Okay. But this is the 800. The blue is the 8. This is the 200. This is the 50. The red is the 13 and the yellow is the 5. Do you know what the EMAs represent?
Yeah, moving averages. Right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
last.
So if we looked at DeLorean, if we looked at the chart on a line graph, this would be like the 1 EMA, right? Or the 0 EMA, 1 EMA, right? So this is the 1 EMA. And then, so when we throw on the other EMAs, this is, you know, where the average of the last 800 candles, average of the last 200, average of the last 50, 13, and so on. So the market is always trying to get back to the 800 long term. Okay. It gets away from the 800 and then it always comes back. It gets away from the 800 and then it comes back. It's away from the 800 and comes back. Okay. So the 800 is kind of a long-term magnet. Okay. The further away the candles get from the 800, the more likely it is to snap back to it. Okay. It usually, it usually snaps back really quickly. You can go back and you can and test this. The 200, which is the gray line, is kind of the medium range. It comes back to the 200 more often. You can see it bouncing off the 200 constantly, right? The 50 is our trend line. Okay, so if we're below the 50, it's a downtrend. This blue line right here, this light blue, that's the 50. If we're below the 50, it's a downtrend. If we're above the 50, it's an uptrend. Okay, so let's zoom in here. Let's pretend like we're trading back here. This is a downtrend market, right? Remember that we saw that this is a downtrend, right? Yeah. So we're only going to take what, buys or sells? Sells, right? So we're looking for our trend. If the candles go above the 50, it's an uptrend. No way we're taking a sell here, right? No way we're taking a sell here. No way we're taking any sells. When we get below the 50, we can start looking at sells again. And you see how it comes and bounces off the 50. We'll take sells here, bounces off the 50. We'll take sells here, bounces off the 50. We'll take sells here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So our entries and our exits come off of the 13 and the 5. Okay, that's the red and the yellow. So watch this. If the yellow is above the red, it's a buy. See how the yellow is above the red? That's a buy. So we're not in the trade. But when the yellow crosses through the red, it's a sell. You see that?
Yeah.
So we're in a sell. When the yellow, okay, for the Delorean EMAs to have power, they have to be vertical. When they go horizontal, there's no power in the market. Okay, let that be your volume indicator for now. Okay, so if the Deloreans are horizontal, don't enter the trade. If the Deloreans are vertical, that's volume you want in the trade. Okay, so look, we hit the 50 on a downtrend, so we know we're in a downtrend. The yellow crosses through the red, it goes vertical. We are in this trade, right? When they go horizontal, we exit the trade. We're out of the trade. The yellow goes above the red. We're out of the trade, out of the trade, out of the trade. Comes back under the 50, goes vertical. The yellow crosses through the red. We're in the trade. horizontal, we're watching this, we're watching this, we're watching this, might even get out here, bam, see how they go vertical again? We're back in the trade. We're writing it down. When they go horizontal or upwards, the opposite direction, we get back out of the trade. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is on the 15-minute, we're seeing these trends. We're seeing these trends. So on the 15-minute chart, listen to me, on the 15-minute chart, when you see these cross through and go vertical, okay, you drop to the 5-minute chart.
Okay.
Everything has to be set up on the 15-minute chart. Okay, like you're saying, I'm comfortable taking this trade on the 15-minute chart. Don't take the trade on the 15-minute chart, drop to the 5-minute chart. Okay, and this is how we're going to control losses. You see, everything is just amplified. See this drop right here? Everything is just amplified. Everything is just amplified on the 5-minute chart. It looks the same. You can just see it a lot better. You're going to control your losses this way, okay? And we're going to scalp like this. So again, on the 5-minute chart, if we're above the 50, we're not in the trade, not in the trade, not in the trade, not in the trade. Got below the 50, retested the 50, the yellow crossed to the red, we're in the trade. Right? We went horizontal, we're out of the trade. Bam, we go vertical, we're in the trade. We're in the trade here, going down. Right here, we go horizontal and upwards, we're out of the trade. Right here, we're back in the trade. We're out of the trade. We're back in the trade. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes, Duncan, super.
Good. Okay, now we're going to throw on our other indicators, because what the banks like to do is fake us out, right? I'm going to turn off these two real quick, because to me, the DMI is the most important, okay? And the DMI watches for fake outs, okay? That's what the DMI is for. Do not enter the trade unless the DMI says it's okay, okay? Hold up your right hand and say, I swear I won't enter the trade unless the DMI says so.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay, so look here. If the market looks like it's doing the right thing, if it looks like it's you want to enter the trade here, check the DMI, okay? Always check the DMI. I can't tell you how many times I have thought that it was a good trade. Let's just look here. Let's look here. Let's pretend like we can't see this, okay? We bounce off the 50. There's a big candle here. Hey, this looks good. I'm going to enter the trade. It's an engulfing candle. It's bouncing off the 50. This is a good trade. The yellow is about to cross through the red. I should enter the trade, which is wrong, right? Because we don't enter until the yellow crosses through the red. But you look down here, look, the DMI is telling you, no, there's no power in this, right? Don't enter that trade. And sure enough, it turns the other direction. The DMI tells you, no, in fact, green's on top, the yellow's crossing through the ADX. This is a buy market, which we see consolidation here. Again, everything is set up right here. Everything is set up ready to go. But look at the red DMI down here. It has not crossed through the key level. So again, the DMI is telling you it's a fake out. It's a fake out, man. Don't do it. We keep watching. We keep watching. Right here, now I got to tell you, right here, I would have entered the trade because the red and the yellow are through. We came off the 50, and this is vertical. I would have entered this trade. As soon as the DMI went horizontal, I would have gotten out, okay? That would have been a very small trade. I'll give you that. It would have been a very small trade. It would have been a, oops, not even 10 pips. If you did your best, it would have been 10 pips. Probably would have been more like 8 pips. But what we're looking for is for it to run. So you're going to have some of these little bitty small ones, you know what I mean? But you're going to be protecting yourself. But occasionally it's going to run like this, you know? And that's what we do. When it wants to run, like look here. Here, this was a fake out. And so we're watching these. We're watching these. But right here, we cross through and the yellow stays up. It stays up. It stays up. And that's our run. You know what I mean? And that's what we got to watch for. Okay. The DMI will catch the fake outs for you, man. It just will.
Yeah. So we use only DMI and then chart Delorean EMIs.
Yes, to me, these are the two most powerful indicators. Also, reading the candles themselves is, I think it's important to read the candles and know what the candles are trying to tell you. When I am in a sell market and I start seeing long wicks like this, and I start seeing long wicks, I know that change is coming. I know that. You know what I mean? See, keep an eye on these wicks.
It will always come to the VIX side.
When the candles start to level out and you have long wicks, you know that change is coming. You know that something is happening. You want, what do you want? Let's see if I can find you some good candles here. I studied candles for quite a few months, and you can, gosh, what am I trying to show you here? Hold on just a second. I want to give you a really good example because candles are kind of tricky. Maybe I shouldn't even get into that with you. Do a little candle research and watch these candles. I can tell you when they get long tails like this, I'm really paying attention to what's going on. I want to turn on these other indicators back on for you because they help a lot. What was it? It was the stochastic, right? And the it was the MACD. Yeah, the Taurus MACD. There we go. So these two help a lot. Okay. Let me get these in the right order. I like this one up top. There we go. So if it's a sell, if I think everything is set up for a sell, but my stochastic is oversold, I'm going to really be being careful. You know what I mean? If it says to sell, but my MACD is oversold, I'm going to really be careful. Like if it says it's a sell, but I'm way down here in the bottom of the MACD and I'm way down here in the bottom of the stochastic, I'm not entering the trade. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make any sense. What I like to see on a sell is that I'm overbought, right? Like up here, like I'm overbought here. The stochastic is overbought here, and then you see this is when we get the big fall, right? So I don't want to like if it says, oh, there's a sell right here, yeah, but I'm oversold. You know what I mean? Like there might be a sell, but it's not going to run. You know, I like even if I do enter the trade, I'm watching it really closely. You know what I mean? You want to enter a sell where we're overbought. This is where you want to enter a sell at, right? Oversold is where you would want to enter a buy, except that we're only taking down trends, but you know what I'm saying. So these 4 indicators are what I use for scalping. Okay. I will tell you, I sit in on Brian Knight's strategies. I do incorporate the banker strategy into this as well. I do use support and resistance and price action. When I'm using this as well, I'm kind of just like getting the feel of the market. But as far as, so I guess I want to tell you, use price action, use the Fibonacci sequences, use the banker's candles. Those are very important. Learn those. And like, if you want to sit in on banker's candles, you know, if you want to learn the Fibonacci, I'm happy to teach you that. I feel like it would kind of overload you here, but I do use those on this as well. But as far as just straight up indicators, just like you going, sitting, how can I trade right now? These indicators are what I've found are best.
So this stochastic is the default settings, Dalton?
It is. Everything else is default. Everything else is. The DMI you can play with. a little bit,
Yeah.
especially the key level setting. But yeah, the rest of it is just stock and standard. The Delorean is standard.
Yeah.
I,
520.
I'm on regular candles. Oh, and of course, let's not forget, I always have this on too, the matrix. If it's a sell and it's not red, and I have mine set for 1 hour, if it's in a sell and it's not red, I'm not entering the trade. You know what I mean? And the matrix is what I set my alerts to. So if it's in a buy, like right now, I'm not even paying any attention to anything. I just go do whatever I'm doing, you know. But as soon as it says sell, because I mean, it does it like every hour or so, it's going to switch, you know. So if you come home, see what the trend is, set your alert on the matrix, and then when it hits, then come sit down and look and scalp for an hour or an hour and a half. You know what I mean? The deal with scalping is that you can make the money you need to make in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then it's over. You know, it moves really quickly. So have this, what I would say is have this set up, and when you get home, just turn on, find your trend. First, go out to the 1 hour or the 4 hour, find your trend, right? What am I trying to get to, or where is the market headed? And once you know your trend, see if you're above or below the 50, right? Once you know if you're buying or selling, then set your matrix alert. And when it hits, then come in and use these other indicators here, and see where the market is moving to.
Yeah, it's very good that. Yeah.
Makes sense?
So, really, that EMIs will change my game now.
The Delorean is the best.
Yeah, I'm using till now that 100 as a 10, the trending. So, but that as I said now 50, and then going back to 5 minutes will
Yes.
make sense now.
Yes, there's just a couple rules that will keep you safe. The 50 and the 13 and the 5, these have to be right. Okay, do not enter a sell. Like if this turned and started to run for a sell, until the yellow crosses through the red and we're under the 50, it's not an option. It's not an option for me, right? And then the DMI has to agree. This looks good. Let me tell you, this looks good. The stochastic is overbought. The MACD, it's not overbought, but it could definitely go into a sell. It's above the midline. You know, I would be looking for this light pink to go through the red here. That's some sort of EMA. Oh, that's probably the 13 and the 5. It's probably what I'm watching on the stinking Delorean anyways. And then I would watch for the red to cross through the green. You watch. Do not assume that the red will go through the green. I can't tell you how many times they bounce off of each other, the red and the green, on the DMI. It's a trick. It's a trick. So watch it and watch for the fake out. I think a key thing to remember here is that the banks are trying to steal your money. You know what I mean? It's like chess. They're trying to get you to take the bait, right? So you have to identify the 7, 8, or 9 fake outs before the one good buy comes. You know what I mean? So assume that it's a fake out. Assume that they're trying to trick you. You know what I mean? And only when it's painfully obvious that it's going the right direction, then take the trade. All right? Sound good?
Yeah, it's really nice. Nathan, yeah.
Good.
That nice. The DMI.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I see the video like DMI is like, how I gonna use in general, like, whenever you see like the PAL or, this one, they will explain DMA, but like, they'll
Yes.
say, okay, on the top, green is top by, red is top, but that key level is making sense now.
Good. These are really powerful. I have won, I think 9 out of my last 12 trades doing exactly what I just showed you. My losses are very small because when the DMI disagrees, I get out. I don't chase anything. Do you play any poker?
No.
No poker. Okay. In poker, you lose when you chase cards. Okay. If you think, man, the next card's my card, you know what I mean? So we don't chase cards in poker, and we don't chase indicators. Okay. If the trade doesn't look good, just get out, because you can always re-enter. You can always get back in the trade. You know what I mean? So yeah, just get out. and just even if you get out of the trade and then it turns into a good trade, at least you didn't lose money. You know, be safe, learn your lessons. I think to not trade has to be okay. To sit down and you didn't take a trade, that's okay, because you didn't lose money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get some really solid wins. I got to tell you, I don't take a trade unless everything is perfect. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's how I protect myself, right? And so what we want to do is get you trading for prop firms where you're trading $100,000 or $200,000 account. All you need is 10 pips. You don't need 100 pips. You know what I mean? You only need 10 pips every other day. You know what I mean? So only take the really, really painfully obvious trades, because if you do that, you can pass the FTMO, and then it's money.